Politics in Kenya is getting interesting. Earlier today, William Ruto met some leaders from Murang'a County at State House, Nairobi. After which, taking to his social media accounts, he shared out this. William Samoei Ruto, there is no longer any room in Kenya for tribalistic and retrogressive politics that enrich a few at the expense of the many. We are charting a new course, one of bold, visionary leadership that transforms lives and unites our nation. At State House, Nairobi, I was delighted to share with grassroots leaders from Murang'a County the tangible progress of our development agenda. And you are seeing some of the leaders who are present at State House, Nairobi. I'm seeing former Murang'a Governor Mwangi wa Iria. I'm seeing Alice Wahome, among a host of those other leaders. It was a big delegation at State House, Nairobi. And that State House meeting has not gone on well with Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi also hosted some leaders from Murang'a County, after which he shared out this. His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, I want to salute the members of Murang'a County Assembly for their integrity and unwavering stand against corruption. They refused to accept a Kenya shillings 300,000 bribe to attend a staged comedy session at State House where falsehoods were peddled and schemes to divide and betray the mountain were orchestrated. And Rigathi Gachagua shared out those photos there. From those photos, I'm seeing Rigathi Gachagua being given some gifts there. And this is not the first time we are seeing Rigathi being given gifts. I don't know Rigathi's intention by receiving these gifts. I've never seen Rigathi Gachagua giving out gifts. He's a receiver, not a giver. And that's something maybe Rigathi should work on. So Rigathi is branding the leaders who are at State House as having been bribed, that they were bribed. So how does Rigathi Gachagua know they were bribed? Could it be just propaganda? And also at that meeting at Wamunyoro, Rigathi also made some very interesting remarks. Listen to this.
William Ruto does not need to call the people of Murang'a to discuss with them development. I was with him at Koigo grounds, and I was a guarantor of William Ruto to the people of the mountain, and we signed an economic charter with the people of Murang'a. 3 years down the line, he has done nothing about it. It is unnecessary to pretend to call the people of Murang'a to discuss with them development. There is nothing he has done in 3 years. There is nothing he'll do in the next 2 years.
That's Rigathi Gachagua speaking today. Rigathi is saying William Ruto has done nothing in the 3 years he has been Kenya's president, and that in the remaining 2 years, he will do completely nothing. That's Rigathi speaking today. For those who can remember very well, sometimes immediately after assuming power, Rigathi had this to say about the promises William Ruto made to Kenyans. President William Ruto has been in office for 8 months and has achieved more than 50% of the promises he made, and he still has 4 years and 4 months to keep all his promises to the people of Kenya. DP Rigathi Gachagua. That was Rigathi Gachagua speaking 8 months after they were sworn in office. At that time, he was saying Ruto had achieved 50% of all the promises he made to Kenyans. Kenyans should listen to me well. 8 months in office, Rigathi was saying Ruto had achieved over 50% of the promises he made to Kenyans. Now Rigathi is saying Ruto has not achieved any promise he made to Kenyans. I want us to put all this into perspective for Kenyans to understand exactly what's happening here. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. Yes. What's happening here, ladies and gentlemen? I'm one person who strongly believes Rigathi Gachagua is 1,000 times worse off than William Samoei Ruto. If it reaches a point where Kenyans must choose between Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, then it would be more prudent for Kenyans to go for Ruto. Rigathi is a worse off version of Ruto. He's a very good student of Rutoism. And normally students can even be better than their teachers. If Rigathi was to be the president today, he would be more pathetic, more brutal than Ruto. And we saw that in about 2 years, he was a deputy president. Immediately they took over power, Rigathi hatched a plot of silencing his critics on the mountain. And we saw the raid at Uhuru Kenyatta's northern farm. All these things, fingers are being pointed towards Rigathi Gachagua. He was the person in charge of all those. We still remember during Azimio demonstrations, we remember Rigathi Gachagua waking up very early in the morning, going to direct the police on how they were to be brutal with the innocent opposition demonstrators. These are things we must keep reminding Kenyans. And now Rigathi is not even ashamed lying to Kenyans in broad daylight. He was saying Ruto had achieved 50% of the promises he made. The same Rigathi. Now he's saying Ruto has not achieved anything. Those are red flags. Kenyans should be warned. Before William Ruto came to power, in this forum I kept warning Kenyans against voting for Ruto. We warned Kenyans. They never listened. Right now, they are crying out for help. Just as I did warn Kenyans against voting for Ruto, I'm warning Kenyans against going anywhere near a Rigathi Gachagua's presidency. If it reaches a point where Kenyans must choose between Ruto and Rigathi, William Ruto is 1,000 times better than Rigathi Gachagua. And the day the opposition will have Rigathi as its candidate, that will be the day the opposition will be dead permanently. Rigathi cannot be an alternative leadership to Ruto. And also if you compare the crowds, those who are at State House Nairobi and those who are at Wamunyoro's residence, you can see very clearly that in terms of strategy, William Ruto is outsmarting Rigathi Gachagua. There were more leaders at State House than they were at Wamunyoro's residence. Another confirmation that Rigathi Gachagua is not a team player. He does not know on how to mobilize and to bring leaders to his team. He is too bossy. Rigathi assumes that he's now popular, so leaders should look for him. And that's why you are seeing even leaders looking for him, taking gifts to him. I think that's a very wrong strategy. Rigathi should not encourage leaders taking gifts to him. Some will start fearing him because of those gifts. And what are those gifts for? Those are just signs and avenues of corruption. Gifts are being taken to Rigathi Gachagua so that these leaders taking gifts can get direct tickets in DCP party. That's also another form of corruption. So as Rigathi accuses Ruto of giving out money to bribe, Rigathi himself is also accepting bribes from his aspirants. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.